I'm just gonna press record now.
Go for it. Be good.
Cause I'm not. Do you hear that?
Yeah. It's all right. Like.
No, it's not. Cause you're gonna hear it in the recording. And I live by a hospital, so like they're always gonna be coming by. See what I mean? I hate my life. I just want to die. Okay. Sorry. Just want to kill myself right now. Oh, I can still hear her.
I can't hear it though.
You don't hear that?
Plus, with Audacity, I mean, you'll be able to cut out as much background noise as you can.
No, yeah, I know. Where's my headphones? Yo, I have no idea. Set up professional audio in audio settings. I don't have that. Where is he?
I don't know.
I have his number. So I have his girl's number, but not his.
Oh, D. All right. Well, call his girl and tell. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
No, she's not. Yeah, that's so professional.
I was like, don't do that. I was just kidding. No. Because we did email.
Computer working? Yeah.
Okay, let's double check. Right.
It's the link again.
You sent him the link?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Okay.
Hey. Oh.
What?
Hello.
Hey.
I think you might be setting up the mic and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's connecting audio. It's Liddy McTitty. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, we both said hi at the same time. Damn.
What's good? I'm using my partner's laptop. That's why it says Latasha right there.
Mm-hmm.
My office space is in the house, and there's like a lot of movement going on, so I didn't want to distract from the yeah. So
I totally understand that. Armoni, did you want to say something? Sorry.
No worries. I started with like Latasha's today. Okay.
No, Latasha's next. So yeah, no, we're also speaking to Latasha too, because well, obviously I see you guys on Twitter all the time, and just
dope.
You guys are pretty well known in the NFT space. So that's why I really wanted to get you guys on this podcast. Riley retweeted, it was like, y'all should do your own podcast. Yeah, of course. It's like, you guys should do your own podcast. I'm like, yo, I already had them on my list. I'm like, let me get y'all before y'all start your own. But yeah, so I don't know if you like actually like formally met me, but my name is Ebony. The founder and editor-in-chief of HangTime Magazine. This is Armoni. This is my partner in crime for this thing. Yo, give yourself a little intro, my guy.
Hello. I'm Armoni. I'm a visual artist, and I'm also just been like volunteering for blockchain startups for years. So I'm very much interested in the tech side of things and like the cultural implications of the tech, which is literally the last couple of months. And yeah, that's essentially it. I write here for HangTime and just looking to learn a bit more about the platform, or at least like, again, the cultural fallout of the platform.
Are you still having mic issues? Let me see. Like cutting in and out. Hold on.
Can you hear me? Because I can't hear Jahmel. Jahmel, sorry.
Everybody's having tech issues.
He left, no.
Nah, that's true. He sounded like he was cutting in and out earlier.
Yeah. Which I guess is for our benefit. We can prep a bit. I mean, it's not much of a prep. It's like,
yeah, I'm prepared, yo.
Like in the zone, auto zone, you know? I got the notes and stuff right here.
When he comes back on, we can just let him chat.
Yeah, facts.
Yo, shout outs to editing.
Yo, for real. I'm sitting, that was my immediate thought. I was like, dang, this is gonna just joint. It's gonna be a nice little splice right there.
Oh no. You have disabled the waiting room. So he can just join that.
Hop right in. Good, good. Hey.
Yes, let's go.
Hey.
Yeah, I get so hyped and then I get sad. It's so bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Clara. She's like,
Uh-oh, audio connected. Uh-oh, audio connected. Uh-oh, audio connected.
All right.
All right, welcome
oh,
back.
and you sound crispy. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. We good.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I love that. Okay. So since we introduced ourselves, we're gonna ask you, tell us about yourself.
Tell us about
How'd you
yourself.
get into NFTs?
What's your name? What's your...
All right. So my name is Ja. I'm a filmmaker and visual artist. I've been doing NFTs since January, so I've been in for 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, short amount of time. I've been doing visual arts for 6 years. I've been a filmmaker for 10. But NFTs, I'm still a baby. So I started. It's very interesting how I started. I had a friend, another artist, Leona Liu.
Okay, let me type that in.
Yeah, she's on Twitter and IG. Phenomenal artist. So we followed each other because we were doing like visual arts on IG and stuff like that. So in her IG story, she said something about crypto art, and I was like, what is that? And so the post that she shared in her story was from One Off, which is like a huge collective of Black artists doing crypto. And they were explaining it. I followed them. Then I followed Sursu, who's like a huge, like, he started the Mint Fund where people could donate to help other new artists mint and stuff like that. He's a pioneer in the space. So then I followed him, and he had like a setup on what crypto art was and like how to get into it. So I followed that step by step, and maybe like a couple weeks after of like research and all that stuff, I dived in. And Sursu bought my piece on the first day. So ever since then, it was just like pretty consistent. And
That's dope.
Yeah.
So, okay. No, wait, go ahead.
No, I was just complimenting the man. Please.
No, because I was gonna say, like, it's interesting that you fell into it, because when I see your work, especially like in the NFT space, I'm like, wow, this is like for you.
Yeah.
Because you already make like that Afro-futuristic type of work. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like seeing in it, it's funny hearing you say that you just started it. I'm thinking like you already had a jump start like in October or even before then. But wow.
It was, yeah, and that's, I remember I was telling, because I obviously told Latasha about it, but I remember when I was telling her about it in the beginning, I told her about crypto art, NFTs, and what it was, and she was just like, "Yo, that's kind of like what you're doing right now." And I was like, "Right, like it's crazy," and it's wild because like I remember all last year, during the pandemic, it was obviously I lost a lot of gigs and stuff like that, but I said like, I took that time to say like, all right, look, this is just a refocus period to just like really think about like what I want to do, how to move forward, because like the landscape has changed, the things that like we found security in wasn't really secure in a lot of sense for a lot of people. And so for me, I was just like, all right, like I have to kind of like find a outlet to be able to express myself how I fully want to, and make a livelihood. You know what I mean? So I said that I was turning down gigs, like I was turning down gigs that weren't speaking to me, and I was just like, shit, like am I doing the right thing? It got kind of hectic, but yeah, this just popped up.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I know the article came out last month on the Face, but I like had to reread it, because what you just said is kind of like why we even wanted to create this podcast, was the fact that we didn't want it to be gatekeep. Like this was clearly another way for artists to make some type of currency for their art.
Yeah.
So the way how we even approached this podcast was like, all right, well, how can we give them that information? Not to like force them into it, but just like, this is what you need to know. And even like how you heard it, but you saw someone doing it, you're like, oh shit, this is dope. But then you researched it and like took the time to understand how can I get into it, and then jumped in. So it's just kind of just solidified why like I'm happy that we reached out to you for this, because this is what we want. We want that kind of intention. We want people to know what they're getting into. And I'm sure you've seen the discourse that's been happening right now. Like we interviewed another artist, and then he had texted me. He was like, yo, I don't know if you saw this, but the floor, it's like, it's crashing. I'm just like, nah, it's high. I'm like, the stock market crashes. Like, it's chill. So I would love to hear like your thoughts on that. I'm pretty sure like you've already spoken so much about it, but for like new listeners that are coming in, like, I think it would be really dope to just hear your perspective on that.
On the
crash, or even the environmental. There's been so much happening. It's like they don't want us to win. They're just like, here's this, here's that. So
yeah, it's obviously with anything that's new, naturally people are going to gravitate towards it, learn about it, see what it is, see how it could work for them personally and as a whole for everyone, right? And then the other side is like, nah, everything about that is wrong, right? And it depends on where you fall on, or like where you get into it. On the environmental side, it's kind of like yes, like with the miners mining ETH and all these other things, and the amount of materials they use, it is does cause a strain on the environment. But I mean, so does like Google and Twitter and driving a car that's like gasoline, like everything, laptops, like we're all in it. The way how the system is, right? It's like we're all kind of contributing to things that are happening to the environment, right? But like the beautiful thing about that is, on the flip side, is like because of NFTs and crypto and just cryptocurrency in general, and the decentralized system, right? There is an awareness. All that thing is open. You can see it, and then I don't think anyone within this community is shying away from it. I think everyone is saying like, yeah, this is a problem, and like, here this now that we know about it, because the first thing is awareness, right? So now that we know that like, this is an issue, like, here are the steps on how we can move forward, and I'm all for that. You know what I mean? Also, with I'm not too I haven't heard too much about the crashing on that end, so can like break it down for me, and then like I could, or maybe I have heard about it, but like I said, like
it's essentially like, because like NFT, it doesn't have like it doesn't match the same. So I feel like the crash was that so many people were like getting into it, but like not a lot was being bought. So it's literally how the stock market is when like too much supply, too much demand. Like it was just literally the same thing. But because like you said, it's new, and so people kind of just like they add their own opinion to it, but it's like it's the same thing that happens all the time. So so that was like I took it how I view like any other system. At the end of the day, it is a system, although it's a different form of system. So it just happened last week, so there's probably still going to be more like conversation around that. There's going to be someone that writes articles that will probably provide more context around it. And I think the beauty there is that this one, when we put out this podcast, it'll also have a written component as well, almost like it's a resource page, like people can go back to it.
That's dope. I think, but like like in general, I think like it's new, things are gonna happen, and like when a baby's walking for the first time, he's not just like, or it's the he or she, the baby's not just strolling, you know what I mean? It's like it's gonna stumble a little bit. Baby's gonna stumble a little bit, gonna fall, gotta get back up, but like one day that baby will become a full size human and just like getting it going. So that's so you have to realize.
How do you find yourself navigating the like the art theft? Like when it comes, it's like using NFTs for visual art for musical artists is one thing, because like they have their own way of consumption and production. And like from one visual artist to another, I know that there was just a lot happening in the space where people were like, Twitter bots were tokenizing other people's work and selling it, and there was just the visual work depending on the platform is like oversaturated with people who are stealing work, people who are selling their work. Where with your work, how do you negotiate like that aspect, like ownership, like true ownership beyond what Ether provides or Ethereum?
That is a good question. I honestly, I could just tell you what, like, when I just keep most things to myself. Really, like before I'm ready to put something up, and then like I do put signatures in my work regardless, So but I really don't. That's always been something that like I've always have a question about as well. Like, how do you, outside of like it being on the blockchain and making an NFT and having it, identify to you, like how do you stop someone from just copying it from off, like saving your picture on Twitter and then like putting it up somewhere? I really, to be honest with you, I don't have the answer for it, but I know that how I navigate it is just like, listen, until I'm ready to put something up, like I'll put something up, and then I do have my signature within my work, so I know, and I think like my style is pretty much unique in a sense to where hopefully if that does happen, someone could say like, hey,
that's not yours. How dare you?
Yeah, that's not yours. That's not you. Yeah, you know, so that's all I can say for right now. Yeah, I'm
No,
like I
I
said, I'm
think I
still,
was just curious because like
yeah,
a lot of this project is very exploratory, and we are working in new ground. It's not a clear-cut answer to anything.
right.
We kind of only have like lived experience, and most of the time, crypto is very like isolated or
Yes,
insulated, I should say.
yeah,
So with people we've spoken to, they've had one specific connect. Like one random person was like, "You want to know about this right here?" And it just opened the floodgates.
right,
And I think there's because of that at times, like the good thing is more people are getting in the space, but the negative thing is the space is kind of treated like a stock market, right? Or the space is very much
yeah,
influenced by money. And
yeah,
even in outside of crypto, we still are negotiating production and consumption of creative work, regardless of the medium. So again, just wanted like your perspectives and like it's hard. I didn't mean to get
it is.
off the gat. Like I was totally was not my intention, but
No,
just
it's all good. But I love those kind of questions because like it's in a way because we're all new to it, right? So it's like these are the questions that need to be asked, and I hope I had my perspective helped in some capacity.
no,
But
definitely no. I'm
yeah,
here for your experience, and we appreciate it. Do you
yeah.
are there any other artists in the space who you admire or you've been like researching to understand how they're navigating?
Um, like I said, I think
Wow.
the main person is Sursu.
Hmm. Hmm.
He's like I said, like he's the first person I saw that that's been really like really been a pioneer, not on just like in the forefront on the back end, you know, with like consulting with different platforms and things like that. So I've been just like really just watching his steps and just seeing like just watching how to navigate based off of the things that he's doing. I haven't asked him that question yet though, but I'm sure there's a
It's something that comes up like
yeah,
off and on because
yeah,
it also depends on where you're hanging, right? Like
right.
if you're with people who are not using NFTs, their opinion of it, if they understand it, is going to be like, it is kind of bad, but
Right.
it's not like there's a bit more of a nuance of an answer, you know?
Yeah.
And people who don't know it, or people who are, it's like people who don't know it and are against it, it's hard. It's like, I don't care. It's
Right.
not happening. People who are
Right.
with it are like logged in. So
Yeah.
it's really muddy water. And like
Mhm.
greater media doesn't really help as well, right? Where it's like Jack Dorsey sold his tweet. Murakami is selling NFTs. Wait, now he's not because he don't understand it. And it's like
Right.
what is happening? Like, can someone explain?
Yeah.
But
I think that's a really good point that you brought because personally, Jahmel, I think you have been seeing some success in this space, but I want to hear like what that looks like to you. Because like you said, like the first day you like Sursu like dropped down, was like, yo, I'm bidding on this. So like how have you seen success as a digital artist in this space right now?
Honestly, like on a personal level, like I paid off a credit card debt. You know what I mean?
Oh, word.
Yes!
Right, like that's and so that's one part of it, right? Like the livelihood, you know what I mean? Like but then the other side of it was like being able to introduce Latasha into it and then watching her like flourish and do like amazing things and talking to like Bobby 100s and just all these different people from the music perspective of NFTs and what that can do, right? So that's beautiful watching her do that. And then, you know, my other my other creative friends and family that I know, like Coco Mamba, you know, I remember I told her about NFTs the day I told her about NFTs was the day she signed up and made a sale. Like she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take this whole day to just talk to you about it. Me, her, and Latasha were just like going back and forth just the whole day. And she said, okay, I'm putting this up. And then she made a sale that day, the day she learned about it. You know what I mean? And then Lafayette Stokely, all these. So in general, just watching all the people that I care about who are super creative just blossom, and then being able to like, you know, eliminate like some stress off my shoulders, right? Like, it's been beautiful. So I think and then being able to do that fully from my creative perspective, you know, like being a freelance artist was amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, having commissions it's different from this because you know, at the end of the day, you're creating for someone else. So you have to compromise in a certain aspect, which is fine. But it's different when like you sit down and it's just you and pen and paper, notepad, iPad, whatever it is you use to create, make something, and then have that be like appreciated on that level, you know, to where you can say like, wow, like dead, gone. You know, like it's right, it's beautiful in that way. And then to take that and say like, friends who are also super dope, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And then they do it, and then they're like doing really well too. So I think that's success for me.
Nah, I love that you and Latasha have been bringing people on. So I think that's my next question is, what are some things that artists, especially Black artists, should be aware of, like in the process of minting, but even before minting their work?
I think just like do your research and find out, one, have a good understanding of what the space is, you know.
Okay.
I the first thing I would say is like, don't look at it as a get rich quick thing, you know, because yeah, I know that in my situation, like I sold a piece on my first day, but
you weren't expecting that. That just happened.
I wasn't expecting that at all, you know, and also like, so don't look at it in that way. Know that like it's a space to where, yes, it's a beautiful opportunity for you to thrive creatively, but it takes work like anything else. It takes like, you have to understand the space, you have to and it depends on where you are, what level you're in your creativity, right? Like, so if you just a year, 2 years in, there is another aspect of outside of creativity that you just have to get familiar with, and that's like, you know, not, I don't want to say deal with rejection, you know what I mean, like that's not a thing, but I want to say like it's something to work at, right? You gotta, like, if you're just starting out, like, you know, you're working on a piece, and like like the piece that you made on day 1 is going to be different from the piece that you made on day 10, right? Because like you're learning, you're growing, and so just grow within the space and enjoy that, and keep in mind that like with us Black artists, this is a community, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on outside. I know in here though, like with us, like the space is a community first, from my experience, right? Like with one off, and like, so get to know the people in the space, like reach out to people. We have no problems explaining to you, and like, or sharing or retweeting or like hyping you up or beating you up. Like, this is a community first for us, you know what I mean? And like, I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of jumping in, is just knowing that like, yo, like there's people like you guys are like, there's people that got me, you know what I mean? That's like, yo, I share a piece, and y'all like, yeah, share another one, you know what I mean? Like I might not get a sale that day, and that's dope, because like I'm just like, you know what, that's the seed that I planted though, you know what I mean? And like, I'm going to water that, I'm going to reshare it, and I know there's people out there that's going to retweet it, and eventually something will happen. But it's just, when you come in, just come in for the long game. Don't come in thinking that like, damn, I ain't get a sale on my first day, on my first week, this shit is trash. Like, it's not trash. It's just like, just like anything else, you got to blossom in it, you know? So I say that.
And what would you say to people who are like iffy, people who are like teeter-tottering, and then
like the people want to play devil's advocate?
Like what you're saying, as I understand, I feel you with
Right.
people who are like already in it. How would you, what would you say to people who are like in the middle, like I don't know about it, or people who are like it's the devil?
I mean, if you on the side of just like it's the devil, I'm honestly the person. I'm not the person to convince you. I'm just like, oh, that's how you feel. That's it. Then it's the devil. Life, right. I'm gonna be in hell, burning up.
Sorry.
So that's just how you feel. If you're in between, I would say like I would always tell people to give it a shot. Try it out. Tap into things like the Mint Fund, which is where you can. The Mint Fund is how so it's a platform where
don't they help assist like Black and Brown creators?
Yes, they assist mint their work. You know what I mean? And like I've donated to them, and there's a lots of artists that donate to the Mint. A lot of creatives in the space that donate to the Mint Fund, so new artists could come in. So I would say like, listen, sign up for the Mint Fund, mint your first piece, and then see how you feel about it. You know, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you want to, try minting another piece, then do that way, and then like ask me questions and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nah, well, I love that.
I dig it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, this is very inspiring. I love it because you already exude like inspiration, like the things you tweet. That's why I'm always resharing your stuff because I just feel happy seeing it.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. But I'm super new to Twitter, so I never knew how to use it. I was like, what am I gonna say? Latasha would be like, just say something.
Yeah, just say anything. People just be on it to talk. I be depressed. I be on my sad boy shit sometimes, but yeah.
Nah, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta get that out though. You gotta get that.
Because when it's out, once it's out, it's like, okay.
And you
learned that from Latasha.
Right.
So
that's all she does.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm like, when do you tweet these things? When she's like, she'll just tweet out like a whole set. We'll be sitting down together in the living room watching TV, and then like I'll go on Twitter and see like I'm like, yo, when did you do that? We were watching WandaVision. Like, how do you?
I'm dead.
Like, how do you do it? She's amazing. Yeah.
I really appreciate this. Armoni, did you have any last words before we
No. I mean, if anything, I'll just be like in the postscript, like, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Really, I know for me, it's just like I've just been like, I'm the person who's like teeter,
Right. Yeah.
I know I understand the tech, but I also understand the issues, and I also can differentiate what's like hyperbole on either side, like the cultish love and the total hatred.
Right.
And I'm just like, I personally I believe in nuance, right? Like, okay, what is the nitty gritty here? Where's the truth? So talking with you really helped inspire me in such where I do find an interesting angle where Black and Brown artists, when discussing this technology, there is this communal edge. And initially when I had gotten into Ethereum and understanding how the tech worked, my first thought was, okay, community, what are the different notions of ownership? What is all this stuff? So speaking with you, it does help because you're another artist who's like discussing ways in which the tech has the potential to help a community while also being like, yeah, it's got problems, but we're working it out, or like we're living in it, like we're living as it develops, which is also super weird.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Makes me hyperventilate because I'm like,
no, I feel you. Yeah, because it's a lot to think about, right?
Yeah. Like you start talking about it, and then the tech changes. It's like, okay, that's weird. There's a new protocol happening in July that's changing how miners operate, which then impacts how the environmental impact is. Do we know how that's going to change our relationship with Ethereum and the planet? Do we know how that's going to change the minting space? Should I mint a piece now? Should I not? There's like, and it's weird. It's like,
It
it's,
is.
it's like the super neat, the nerdy deep lore that people don't know, right? Like, or it's weird.
Right.
That's all I can say. But
No, I feel you, because like when I got in, I didn't know about anything.
Mhm.
I didn't think about the consequences when I
Yeah.
first started. I just knew about what it could do, right? And I was just like, oh, all right, let me just jump in and do it.
well,
But
you
then
went
when I
ham
got
the
in,
minute you heard it.
yeah, but then when I got in, I started hearing about the environmental stuff, and like when I first heard about it, I was like, oh shit. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I don't want to.
But that was like also new too.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just like people that were in it even from last year, they're now here and they're like, oh wait, like you just said, you're like, oh, should I continue to keep doing it?
Like, dang, wait a minute, hold on.
But yeah, but then doing so now, but then that forces you to do more research, right? Because like being in this space, it's kind of like, well, you know, I do see the positive sides of this though. So like, let me do more research on like what these consequences are, and like let me make sure that they're real. Two, like let me see. Okay, so let's see what can happen. What are the upsides then? What can we do to make sure that like this stays what it is, but then like without harming the earth, you know?
Yeah.
And so
come up with the solutions. That's what I've been looking for. I've been looking for solutions. I've been like brainstorming some of them with Armoni. I'm like, what if we just made like holograms? Just let it live.
Like, how do we help? Or even when it comes to like ownership, it's so weird because like physical artwork, I can pick up a piece I made and be like, yes. I did this with Ebony on a call. Like, I would just pick up a painting and I'm like, there's only one of this that exists. There are no others. This is mine. But with digital artwork, they never really had that, right? They never had that sense of
like, nope.
This is my file.
That weirded me out about this space too, because I was just like, I'm like, wait, what? Like, so if I meant this one and it's a one of one, but like the file, I still got the JPEG in my hard drive. Like I could
like where
I could copy
can you
this shit.
Explain the difference to me. Like what's the
right? So what I read a couple of things on it, and it's kind of like the NFT version of that piece is kind of like an autographed copy, right? It's like you signed it with an autograph. And so it's like, oh yeah. Like, so there's potentially a bunch of copies of this, right? If I choose to copy it.
Yeah.
But this one is an NFT. It's signed, right? So it's like I have like an autograph comic. I have like a Justice League autograph by the creators. Yeah. I have a Jim Lee autograph.
What year?
Sorry, my bad.
It's the New 52. It was when New 52 first started.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. That's a whole other thing. Like,
because I've got DC comics and that, like from the 70s. I'm like, which one?
Which one, bro?
Yeah, it's New 52.
Yeah.
I do have. Side note, I do have the debut of the Punisher, Spider-Man.
Stop.
Yeah, I got that. It's not going. It was my uncle's.
Like, everyone's got that uncle that collected comics. Like
that's where I got my I got it from my uncle. He had like a whole crate, and like when he moved to Georgia, he was like, you can have these, and I'm like,
literally me and my uncle.
He gave me a bunch. I don't think he knew he gave me that one, but I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, no, don't. There's a lot of things that I don't say to my uncle. Like, he gave me some Star Wars figurines, and like he used to keep them in the pack. Like, he'd never open them shit. I don't have them there at my mom's house, but he definitely left those. And my mom was like, Ed, don't say nothing. Because he would kill for those. Like, he would kill. So
those are like, so those are kind of like NFTs, right?
Yeah,
like,
they are. They're collectibles.
Right. They're collectibles, right? So that's what it is. That's how I took it. I'm like, okay, so my art is like treated as a collectible. And so, you know, and that's how I wrapped my head around it.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for doing this.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Keep doing your thing.
You guys too. This is dope. Yeah.
Can you just say where people can find you?
Yeah.
And then we'll just sign off just like that.
Oh yeah, word. That's important.
It's very important.
Just a tiny bit.
Right. You can find me on Twitter at Art by Ja, on Instagram, Jahmel R, JAHMELR. And you can check my website, byja.art, and everything. Once you go there, everything else is there. My Zora account, my Zora account, Rarible Foundation, all the NFTs are there in those links. Yeah, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
You. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys too.
Great.
Awesome.
Hope you have a great day.
You too.
Yes.
You too.
Bye.
Go on,
Bye.
man.